Hey there, my name is Eli, aka Devoted Day Trader. In this video, I am going to do my weekly review for this week from September 25th to September 29th of the S&P 500 and Nasdaq futures. I'll go through each trade and the reason why I took the trades. Let's get to it. So here we have, this platform is Ninja Trader. I'm using a 5-minute candlestick, and right here I have the daily, and right here I have the weekly for the S&P 500 December 2023 E-mini contract. So in the open on Monday, when I see a huge gap down, so this is regular trading hours, when I see a huge gap between the close of Friday and the open of Monday, September 25th, my mind goes to the daily chart, specifically to ETH, electronic trading hours chart. So I saw that the gap down on Monday, it took out a previous low. It took out Friday's low. So now I know that liquidity has been grabbed on the daily level. So when I saw these two bull candles, I wanted to get long. But it pretty much went without me, and I was patiently waiting for a pullback. I called this my gap down, delayed by the close open. So what does that mean? So we have a gap down. The delayed is the fact that we have a bear candle, but then when I see two consecutive bull candles and one of them is big and closing on its high, I'm looking to get long, or I'm looking for a long entry. But I didn't want, I usually buy above the high of the second bar, so I would buy it right here. But I thought the risk from here, because my stop would be down here, I thought the risk was too big. So I was waiting for a pullback, and I was waiting for a high two pullback. So meaning, so we went up, we went down. So this would be a high one, and this would be a high two. This is a high two because this candle went above this candle, and that's the second time that has occurred. And this is a high one because this candle went above this candle. So usually a high two, the second time the market is attempting to go higher, they're usually reliable in the right context. So I did go long here, meaning I bought here, went long, but when I didn't get, I was expecting this move to occur when I went long. But when I saw this bear candle, I got out of my trade for a loss. So went long here, took a loss here, because this is a low two, meaning, so if the move started here, this would be a low one because this candle went below this candle, and then this is a low two. This candle went above this candle, and this is a strong looking bear candle. So I took the loss because I didn't want it going all the way down. But once I saw that this candle didn't have a follow through, what I saw was a wedge. A wedge is when you have 3 pushes down. So this is the first push down, the second push down, and this is the third push down, followed by a bull candle. I also liked that this candle took out the low of this candle, meaning that whatever stops that were here have been grabbed. So the liquidity here has been grabbed. So this is a very reliable setup. A by the close open, and then a wedge pullback, 3 pushes down. So instead of going long on ES, I actually went long on Nasdaq. So let me go to this day. What day is this? Yep, so Nasdaq, it pretty much trades in sync for the most part with S&P 500, and nowadays I like trading Nasdaq more because it gives you those explosive moves. I knew that that this told me that the bulls were going to get an explosive move up, and I went long right here. So I bought Nasdaq instead of S&P 500 because I thought this would give me a bigger move, and it popped, and I took my profit right here before it reached the high of the day. And yeah, I was pretty happy with this trade. I took a small loss on the S&P 500 futures, but I was able to make it back on Nasdaq and capture a big move up. And this was the only trade that I took, as you can see, on Monday. And then on Tuesday, what did we have on Tuesday? So Tuesday, we will take a look. So Tuesday, I went long here. Again, what I saw on Tuesday, the market took down the previous day's low, so it took out the low that was made on Monday. So when I saw these 3 bull candles, I was looking to get long, but I didn't like that these candles had a tail on top of them, which communicate that they are being sold into, or they are being shorted. So I normally, when I see a huge gap down and consecutive bull candles in the open, I'm going long right away. But I didn't like these tails, so I waited. I went long here. So what I saw here, I saw maybe some type of 3 pushes down, a wedge. If this is the first push, if the gap down is the first push down, and then that is the second push down, and this is the third push down. And when I saw these 2 consecutive bull candles, I thought the bulls were coming in, and I went long. So I bought the close of this 5-minute bear candle. And when it popped up, I sold half at this tail, and the other half I was maybe gonna let it run to test the high of the day, but I remembered that this is the month of September. Usually, according to the S&P 500 seasonality. The S&P 500 usually sells off in the second half of September. So I thought today could potentially be a big bear day, potentially, and I wanted to just lock in profit. So I closed out the second, the remaining of my position right here, and then I let it sell off. And then when I saw that the market took out the stop, or the stops below this low, and it made a lower low, and I went long with a stop of below the low of the day. And I didn't like the hesitation here. It kind of hesitated. This is the 20 exponential moving average. I took my profit here, and I was done with the day on Tuesday. I don't think I took any trades on Nasdaq. Did I? Oh yeah, I did. Ignore that. That is the market is closing. Yes. So I also took the same trades on Nasdaq. So on Nasdaq, I went long here. So pretty much the same play as the S&P 500. Went long, took my profit here, went long again. I was a little too heavy for my liking. I had on too many contracts on Nasdaq, and Nasdaq is a huge mover. So I closed out my position on Nasdaq. So yeah, winners on both the S&P 500 and Nasdaq on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, it doesn't look like I took any trades on Nasdaq. Let's see if I took any trades on S&P 500. Yes. So this is on Wednesday, the 27th. Again, why did I go long? Let's see what was going on the daily. So this is the 27th. The 27th. Yep. So I liked that the market took out the previous day's low, meaning that it has grabbed all the liquidity that was below the previous day's low, and I went long here because I saw 3 pushes down. So this is the first push down, the second push down, the third push down. This is a wedge followed by my bread and butter consecutive bull candles, with one of them closing on its high. This one was closing on its high. I didn't want to buy above it because the moving average was so close by. So I waited for a pullback and I went long. When I went long, I pretty much got out for a small loss because it made a low to in a possible bear trend day, where I'm suspecting that the market is potentially going to continue to sell off, considering that in the second half of September, the S&P 500 usually sells off. And in addition to that, I saw a low too. So this is a low one because this candle went below this candle, and then market made a new high, and then made, when this candle went below this candle, that was a low too. And then when this candle went below this candle, and this is a strong looking bear candle, I knew that, or not knew, I suspected that the market was potentially gonna sell off, so I got out of the way. And I was pretty happy with the way I managed this trade. I got out and it sold off. I don't think I took, let me see if I took any trades on Nasdaq on this day. Nope, I didn't take. So I only placed in my day trading account. I only placed only this one trade, took my loss, and I was done for the day. And then the next day was, this was Thursday, the 28th of September 28th. And on this day, I didn't take any trades on S&P 500, but I took trades on Nasdaq, on NQ. So why did I trade NQ? I saw that, let's go to, well, I'm gonna change this to NQ daily. So we have NQ right here, Nasdaq, and then we have S&P 500 right here. So on this day, what I saw on this day, so this was the 28th. On the 28th, I saw that the low of the day tested 50% of the previous day's tail. So usually 50% of tails act as support and resistance. It acts like a fair value gap. And I got this concept from ICT for full transparency. So I'm always paying attention to what is going on when price is at the 50% of a daily candle. I'm paying close attention. So on this day, I saw that the low of the day tested 50% of this day's candle. The same thing on S&P 500, it tested it. In fact, I was watching it closely on the S&P 500, and I noticed that S&P 500, it missed the 50% by a couple of points, where Nasdaq, it almost tapped it. And then I waited, and also we have 3 pushes down. So this is the first push down, the second push down, the third push down. It's not so obvious on the 5-minute chart, but on a smaller time frame, like the 1 minute, which I also keep an eye on. Let's see. We'll go to the 1 minute, and then this was the 28th, and then this was at 9, we'll say 9:50 a.m. So 3 pushes down. So this is the 1 minute chart. So in fact, when I am trading, I only glance at the RTH chart, which is the regular trading hours. I mainly watch the electronic trading hours because I want to see all the candlesticks. So on the 1 minute, it made a clear wedge, 3 pushes down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So back to the 5 minute. And then I saw these 2 consecutive candles where one of them is big and closing on its high. So I wanted to get long right above it, right above right above this candlestick. That's where I wanted to get long, but this was a huge move. This was a lot of risk because my stop would have to be at the bottom of the day. So I let it go without me. And I was kind of bummed because I felt like I missed the trade. But when it pulled back, I went long. I was eager to get long. I felt that it would at least test this green line right here. This is yesterday's high. So I felt that, so we're looking at this day, right? So I felt that it would at least get, test the high of this candle, which is this green line right here. So I went long, I added to my position, and then it continued going down. I started panicking. My stop was at the low of the day, and but I didn't panic out of the trade because I didn't see I stayed in the trade because I felt that this was a pullback and it was also testing this bull candle, which so usually I pay attention whenever there is a significant move in one direction. In a bull, I look at the last bull candle before the lower low is made. So if this is the first low and this is the second low, this is the last bull candle before the lower low. ICT calls this a breaker. I know he's very specific about what he considers a breaker, but to me, whenever I see a bull candle before a lower low and then price breaks above it, I call this the last bull candle before the lower low. And it usually acts as significant support. And in addition to that, so I'm someone that I combine both price action and algorithmic price delivery. I am a huge fan of ICT's work, and I am also a huge fan of Al Brooks. And I combine both of their concepts and what I have amassed in the past 6 years. I have been trading now for 6 years to inform my trading decisions. So when it pulled back, once I saw this candle, it bounced within the range of this bull candle, and it also bounced off the 50% of this candle, which is on order block. Once I saw that, and once I saw this bull candle, I was more assured that it was the premise that I had, that it would test, that the market would test the previous day's high, was more likely, and it popped here. I took half of my position off because market took out this high, so it swept all the liquidity that was above the high of the day at the time. And when I got out, this was looking like a strong bear candle, and I thought this was going to lead to a low 2. So this was the low 1, and then I thought this was going to lead to a low 2, meaning that this candle was going to close a strong bear candle, and this candle was going to trade below it. Afraid of that, especially considering I survived this pullback, I closed out half of my position, and I saved the other half and got out there. And the reason why I got out there, I was doing, I what I wanted to get out at a, hold on, let's see. I wanted to get out at a major move of these two candles. So right before it got to it, I felt that there would potentially be a lot of profit taking, so I got out right here. And let's remove that. And after that, it moved up a whole lot after I was done, but hey, that's none of my business. Let's remove this. And I didn't take any trades on S&P 500 on that day. And then on Friday, which is today, the 29th, I didn't take any trades on S&P 500, but I took trades on NQ on Nasdaq. And I was watching both S&P 500 and Nasdaq closely. I noticed that clearly Nasdaq was the stronger one, but they both gapped up during regular trading hours. And I wasn't sure. So the market, according to seasonal tendencies, it tends to find a bottom in early October, and today is September 29th. So I wasn't sure if this was the low of the sell-off. And the one thing that I want to mention is on the, we'll go to on S&P 500 on the weekly chart. It bounced off. So this is this weekly chart when we had that big push up on Thursday. It bounced off this candlestick. This is a bullish order block. It tested the high of it and it bounced right away. And the reason why I'm using, so this is TradingView. I usually use TradingView to get accurate price, especially on the weekly chart. I have noticed that NinjaTrader is not as accurate when it comes to the weekly chart. So I like referencing TradingView for that. Anyway, let's go back. Yeah. So the reason why I went short today, I saw that Nasdaq, let me go to, so this is Nasdaq right here. So I saw that Nasdaq tested this fair value gap. The fair value gap is from this candle's low to this candle's high. So I saw, we'll go ahead and just, so it tested this. So this is the daily ETH, electronic trading hours for Nasdaq NQ. It not only did it test this fair value gap, but it took out this high, this high, this high, and this high. So the stops that were above yesterday's candle or the prior 2 days candle, it took out all those stops. And then it did 3 pushes up. This is a wedge. The gap up was 1 push, pull back, second push, pull back, third push, 1, 2, 3. And then I saw this strong bear candle, and it had follow through. So I went long. I was also watching, I believe, the 1 minute when I placed the trade, and I was watching the 1 minute, and let's go to the 1 minute. So on the 1 minute, I saw that up close candles, meaning bull candles, were being respected, and also this bear candle on the 1 minute was acting as resistance. So whenever there is a higher high, I look at the last bear candle, and usually that can act as a strong resistance. So if we were to do that, I saw this candle. Once price broke below it, I'm paying close attention to this candle on the 1 minute, and this is a bear candle before a higher high. Once price breaks below it, my eyes goes directly to it. I'm looking at it, and I noticed that it was acting as resistance, and I wanted a put. Well, I didn't want to get short here. I mean, we do have a fair value gap right here on FVG, combined with this, I guess some call this a breaker. I call it the last bear candle before a higher high. Anyway, I went short right here, and I went back to the 5 minute. I took my profit as soon as the market broke below the low of the day. I didn't, and also this is the 20 exponential moving average, which can act as significant support. So when I got this explosive move down, I just took my profit. I think this was about 30 points or so on Nasdaq. It was not actually 40 points. I usually try to go for about 50 points if I could get it on Nasdaq per trade, but because my stop was at the high of the day. So yeah, I took my profit and I was done with the day. Yeah, I missed this entire move down, but hey, I came, I got my points and I got out of the way, and I didn't place any trades on S&P 500. Yeah, so this was an awesome week. I had nothing but winners on Nasdaq and on the S&P 500. I had a couple of small losses and a break even and whatnot. But yeah, if you have any questions about my trades, feel free to comment below, and I will do my very best to get back at you. I have taken a break from posting on YouTube for almost 3 years now, but this entire time I've just been on the grind, just trading every single day and evolving as a trader. Can't believe now it's been 6 years since I've started trading, and I have a lot of wealth of information that I have amassed over the years. My trading has become more consistent, more refined, more profitable, and if I can, and I will be talking about my trading experience, the trades that I am taking. And if this helps you, or if you find this informative, feel free to like the video, subscribe, and I will be posting more trade videos. Alright, see ya next time. Bye.